Nostalgia hoops, nostalgia sports and culture. We talking WNBA. We talking superstar Candace Parker, Hall of Famer, WNBA champion. We know all the accolades. But it's funny because I was just in the comments and me and Blanco was talking about Candace Parker. What will she do next? Is she going to the Spark, Sloop? All those conversations. And a couple days later, Candace comes with an interview with, who was it, Richard Deitsch. And she's talking about, is she coming back? Now, my prediction a few days ago was, of course, I felt like she was coming back. I feel like if she lost in the finals to Asia, she could have walked away. But I think losing before the finals and kind of not being all in. Like I said, that first game I seen with against LA, it was just all year that type of, it was points where they would turn up, but it was that you could feel that she had checked out, and she expressed that on the podcast. Like last season or going into last season, she just felt like she was done. She won the championship at home and she was ready to walk away from the game, and you could just feel that and see that when you watch the team play. And I felt like the team carried that energy. So if she seems more upbeat coming into this season, and she said that she's open to return, that she's going to return, and I think wherever she's at, her having that positive mentality will impact the team, because too often, like you seen against the late game with them and the Aces jump on and blowing them out. They end up coming back, but it just was too many slow starts for me. I understand it was second and all that, but I think it needs to be more consistency from three, for one. And because for me, it was like I was pushing the narrative. It's going to be the old style of WNBA play versus the new style, that fast-paced aces, shooting threes, jump on you early. And I want to see more up-to-date if she does go to Chicago, a more up-to-date, fast-paced offense. So we shall see, but let's get into the interview. I'm going to play a clip from it where she expressed it, and then I'll go into this article by Annie Costable.
November. Where do you stand in terms of the prospect of playing again, or is that something you still got a couple months before you make that decision?
It's so interesting that you asked. I mean, I just did my treadmill workout downstairs, and I did my lift, and in the hotel before I go to the studio. I call it my citizen workout until I switched to sand dunes and on court. But losing last year, I was working out 6 days after we lost. Like, I just couldn't. I just wanted to compete at everything.
And that's what I'm saying, that hunger in her. I just don't see Candace being able to walk away, especially losing to the Sun that a lot of people felt like they was going to beat. And she spoke about how competitive she is and how she wants to win at everything. I just don't think she can go out and live with it if she hasn't gave her all. So I think she's going to put it all out there this season. Win, lose, whether it's in the finals or not, I think she's still going to walk away from the game. But I think you're going to see a different switch going into this season.
My family knows, like, dominoes, let's go. Beach volleyball, let's go. Like, that was my mentality, because I hate losing. So right now, yeah, I'm game. Let's see if my body is this way in January, February. But I plan to play. I plan to come back. But at the same time, last year it was the reverse. I couldn't imagine lacing up shoes again. I couldn't imagine going through game 27 on the schedule. And then a switch flipped in February, and I was ready to go. So, I like to take the off season and take my time. But right now, I don't know if I've dribbled my last ball on the court. I think I'm super competitive and want to play at a high level and want to prepare. I think when you stop preparing, that's when you start cheating the game, and I don't ever want to do that. So,
yeah, so good news for the WNBA. We know Candace still got a lot left. Is it going to be LA or Chicago? I don't know, because I think it's an argument made for both. I was reading one article that says she has one daughter in LA and then she has a bunch of family in that Chicago area. You getting older and not getting paid crazy with the WNBA, you might want to downsize and live in Chicago. So that probably was a part of her thinking with when going back to Chicago. But then you start having them cold Chicago winters, and you start missing that LA sun. So who knows? This is a big question. We're going to keep covering it, keep watching, and I just hope ultimately she's put in the best position to win, because if we can see Candace in the championship, that's always going to be a good thing for the viewer. So let's get into this article real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Candace Parker isn't done playing professionally. At least that's what she indicated on Richard Deitsch podcast released Wednesday morning. Right now, yeah, I'm game, Parker said during the 42-minute interview. Let's see if my body is this way in January and February. Parker entered the 2022 WNBA season under the expectation that it would be her last season. She told colleague Christian Lidlow in a preseason interview. But as the year progressed, it was evident the two-time WNBA champion had plenty left to give to the game. She made history more than once, becoming the first player in the league to eclipse 6,000 points, 3,000 rebounds, and 1,500 assists in June. She was the first player to record 3 career triple-doubles and did it in just 3 quarters in her first game back at Crypto.com Arena. Parker is among the top 10 in the WNBA's all-time points. She's 10th. Assists, she's 8th. And rebounds, she's 3rd. And blocks, she's 5th. In September, she became the first player to record at least 15 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks in a playoff game. She had 19 points, 18 rebounds, 6 blocks, and 5 assists and 4 steals in the Sky's 68-63 Game 1 semifinals loss to the Connecticut Sun. I think Alyssa Thomas had a triple-double in that game too. When the Sky season ended in a Game 5 loss to the Sun, Parker remained vague on her plans for the 2023 season, saying, "I won't cheat the game," in response to a question about retirement. 6 days after that loss, Parker was back working out, fueled by the Sky's unceremonious exit. Asked about the prospect of returning for another season in the WNBA, Parker wasn't crystal clear, but she was more forthcoming than she ever has been before. "I plan to play," Parker said. "I plan to come back, but at the same time last year, it was the reverse. This time last year, I couldn't imagine lacing up shoes again. I couldn't imagine going through a game 27 on the schedule, and then a switch flipped in February, and I was ready to go." Parker is an unrestricted free agent after signing a 2-year contract with the Sky in 2021. WNBA free agency officially begins on January 1st, when teams can make qualifying offers to free agents. Teams must extend qualifying offers by January 14th. On January 15th, free agents can begin contract negotiations and or accept qualifying offers. Free agents who don't accept qualifying offers can begin signing on February 1st. When Parker signed with the Sky as an unrestricted free agent in 2021, she said that the only team she would leave the Sparks, the team that drafted her first overall in 2008 was her hometown franchise. If Parker does return for another season, it's a safe assumption that it will be to play for the Sky or the Sparks, and that's LA or Chicago. Parker sparked a familiar, uncommitted tone as she continued her response to the question about retirement, indicating nothing about her future is certain. Until she's signed and under contract, anything is possible. "I like to take the off season and take my time," Parker said. "Right now, I don't know if I dribbled my last ball on the court." Now, that part I think is BS. She's definitely coming back. It's just a matter of who. And right now, I'm probably 60-40 she going to LA. If I had to bet, 60-40 she going to LA. But we shall see. Let me know where you think Candace Parker is going. Is it going to be LA? Is it going to be Chicago? or is it some dark horse that we not thinking about right now? Let me know. Hit that thumbs up. I'm out.